Hello and welcome to Tarot Sherpa. I'm Christine and today I will be doing a reading using the Maxine Gadd's Zoological Oracle deck. Her Zoological Oracle Steampunk, it's a steampunk themed deck. I've just completed a review of this deck, and if you are interested in seeing all of their cards and their adorableness, I will put a link to that in the description box below. But what I'm going to do today is what's called the Trinity effect. And this is a spread that Leela J. Williams puts in the book. And it's just a 3-card spread. We're going to keep it simple today. And we'll go ahead and lay out card 1. Card 1 is the questioner or the querent or you in relation to the situation. And what we come up with is stone crab. So we're going to set out stone crab here. So we will begin with stone crab. So this is where you are presently in relation to the situation. And I'm going to go ahead and examine the stone crab number 31, if you are interested in the numerology of that. And stone crab means testing the metal. The entire matter is an intricate labyrinth of enigma and majesty. The potential held within its puzzling nature is undoubtedly great, yet solutions remain elusive. Sorting the facts from the spurious requires a combination of youthful enthusiasm and mature methodology. Though some may scoff at this quest, remember that today's fool is often tomorrow's visionary. This is a pursuit well worth your time and effort. So whatever it is that you are working on right now, our stone crab says that it's worth your time. This is worth your effort. Test the metal. Test it and you'll find out that it's worth it. All right, so let's look at our second card. And our second card is going to be, what are the influences of this situation? Let's look at that. Card number 2, the 9-banded armadillo, number 20. So the 9-banded armadillo tells us armored compassion is the key word for this. You have your own business here, but you should be asked for time or direction. You will readily oblige, for you have both to spare. Your conscientious acceptance of others has opened hearts and healed worlds, and you shall not turn away from a genuine request for help. There is a vulnerability in reaching out and responding. Acknowledge bravery on all sides. So as you're working through this situation, there's other people who are asking you for help. And while it might be very, very easy to say, no, I got my own thing going, I can't really give you my help. This card is kind of saying that it's okay, that you're still protected. Your resources, though limited, are protected. And it is still up to you to protect your resources. You do need to be cautious with how much time somebody wants to take from you, because as this says, you're embarking on a new situation and you're going to need some of your resources for yourself. You can't give it all away, but there may be a little bit of help you can give and some help that will be received, either in the present or in a future time. Okay, so let's take a look at our third card. And our third card is, what's the most likely outcome if the pattern is unbroken? Let's look at card number 3. And card number 3 is the shoebill stork, number 39. And the shoebill stork tells us that you've got to walk your talk, or talking the walk. You wade into the world's awakening with long, patient strides and the best company, your fresh, open, imaginative mind. So we have so what we've got is our 3 cards. And, you know, our initial stone crab is saying that, yes, this is a new situation. It is taking your time and attention. And that's okay. That's what needs to happen right now. That's where you need to, this is where you need to keep your main focus, is on what you're working on. However, there are things in your world that do need some help, and it's not a bad idea to extend a little bit of help and make sure that it's actually help. Some people are like, oh, help me do my work for me. And it's like, no, 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 that's not help. I'm not going to do your work for you. But I can give you a little boost. Okay, you've got a project to do. Here, I can loan you a book. You've got something you've got to research. You know, I've got some references here. You can go look them up. You're working on something at work, and somebody needs to know where a file is. Yeah, you can tell them where the file is, but you're not going to do their work for them. So there is a sense of protecting your resources, but still, you can still be courteous. You can still help. You can still, extend yourself a little bit. I'm not saying take on the world's problems. Gotta keep your project on the hot burner. But if somebody else has got something, and we all have these kind of coworkers that seem to make themselves very, very busy by getting into everybody else's business but not taking care of their own stuff. It's like, no, send that coworker back, tell him or her to go work on their own stuff, but you can throw them the bone of, hey, you know what, if you look at this old file, I think you've got a pattern you can follow. If you just do that, you can throw them a bone. And then in the outcome, this way you still seem like, a hospitable person who is interested in the greater good of the whole. But you also have this shoebill stork ability to wade into your own future and your own situations and the things that you're working on, and still have the resources of your own mind to be able to proceed and go forward. You're looking at this, that's more of a work situation. If you looked at this in kind of a relationship situation, maybe you're working on yourself. Maybe you're looking up tarot videos because you're like, man, I need to get my metaphysical house in order. But maybe your partner or your friends, the people you're associating with, really aren't in that boat yet. There's only so much you can do to help them. You can say, hey, check out this book, or listen to this podcast, or check out this tarot reader who, told me that I can only help you a little bit, but don't go overboard with it. Leading them to water. If it's a coworker, if it's a friend, if it's a family member, somebody, they just need you to lead them to water. They don't need you to make them drink, and that's not a good idea. So go ahead and lead them to water, and then while they're trying to figure out what to do with the water, you go ahead and dive in and get what you need to do done. It's very simple. It can be very complicated when we're dealing with relationships, when we're dealing with people, when we're dealing with projects. But yeah, just looking at how these little things can interact together. You keep your shell on. And realize, sometimes it takes a little bit of vulnerability for somebody to ask you for help, especially if they think you're crabby. But you don't have to be crabby, but you can protect your resources and your time. And just tell them where the watering hole is, and they can go find that, and then you can proceed on with the things that you're working on. And everybody's happy at the end. Or has the potential to be that. Happiness is a choice. So, everybody can be happy at the end, and happiness is a choice that we can all make. All right. I hope this helped. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.